And welcome everyone to a special afternoon edition of the energy that surrounds us. And I threw myself off because actually for Jack it is the evening. So being in the UK, you have that fun of the time change and time difference. So afternoon for us here in Texas, where Lisa, Vera, and I are from, and evening with Jack. So all of you who are a fan of his, trust me, you're still getting an evening with Jack, so not missing out on that. And I am so blessed and grateful to the returning guests of Jack and Vera, and having Lisa finally making her appearance on this show. It's been years in the making, so I am going to spend no more time talking about these amazing people, and I'm going to turn it over to the one and only Lisa Herrera to introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name's Lisa Herrera, and I'm with Central Texas Paranormal Ghostbusters. My partner's Vera on the screen, and I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to meet Michael and Jack, and chat with y'all as well. Actually got into the paranormal business because I had an experience when I was probably about 9 years old, and it was me, my brother, and my cousin that we all experienced it together. And I'd like to share that story with y'all sometime during this podcast. But I'll just go ahead and pass it over to y'all.
Hi, I'm Vera. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll go ahead, Vera.
Oh, I'm Vera, and I'm Lisa's partner, and my friend up here, Mr. Jack. He's an amazing guy, and you know, I don't have much to say other than he's amazing, and he's on point on everything he says and tells you. And I'll pass it over to Jack.
Thank you, Vera. Hello, Lisa. Lovely to see you. Vera, so lovely to see you back on. And Michael, thank you for having us all on. It's a pleasure to be on this podcast with you all today. So, for those that don't know me, I'm Jack Hutchinson, also known as Jack Hutchinson Media. I am a psychic, clairvoyant, and rescue medium. I've been in the field for 5 years this December, officially and professionally. Doing this since I was 6, but 5 years this December 13th. We are doing a big live show in Sheffield to commemorate 5 years, and also say a big thank you to my audience for sticking with me for such a long time.
That's kind of what I love about you, Jack, is you sitting there and you're like, I've been doing this for 5 years, and you're like, thank you for sticking with me this long time. It's like we're kind of laugh about that because we're like, there's mediums that have been doing this for a decade or more, but I love how authentic you are and how you're just you, and you're like, yeah, 5 years is so long, and it's just, I love that about when we talk, is you are just so down to earth and just yourself that it's like so much fun to talk with.
Thank you. And as is for Vera and Lisa, I mean, this is the first time I'm actually speaking with Lisa as well. So I can't wait to hear Lisa's life story and how she became to be part of such an amazing profession, to be part of such, paranormal and supernatural and mediums. It's going to be a pleasure to speak with you all today.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I can't think of a better segue to Lisa's story.
Well, first I wanted, like I was telling you, my mother, she had some kind of psychic. I really didn't know much about the psychic world or anything like that, but I just remember, I was married to my first husband, and I think I was about 27, 28 years old at that time, and she had woke up, and I remember we were leaving because we were going to go pay bills bills and stuff. The next thing you know, she runs out and she's telling me not to leave. And I'm all like, why? What's going on? And she's all like, Lisa, I had a dream. And I'm all like, a dream, Mom? Come on. And she's all like, don't leave. You're going to have a car accident. And I'm all like, okay. I didn't know what to say. I was a little frustrated with her because my husband looked at me like if my mom was crazy. And I just didn't know what to say. I was like, okay, well, he'll drive then. And she's all like, okay, Jeff, you're going to drive for real? And he's all like, yeah, I'll drive if that makes you feel better. And the next you know, we had just finished paying our bills and we were headed back to the house. Like an hour later, we were headed back to the house, and we get sideswiped. Right as close to the house, we get sideswiped, and I end up having to go to the hospital and stuff. And I called my mom and I told her, hey, Mom, I had a car accident. And she's all like, I told you not to leave. And that's when I really started seeing, her gift. And it just freaked me out because how she told me, and I left, and an hour later I'm getting in a car accident. And I asked Jeff, what happened? He actually took off on the red light. So I told him, why did you go on a red light? That made no sense. And he's like, I don't know what I was thinking. He says, I said, I know, I was looking at you and it's like you weren't even there. And he said, I don't know what happened. So he couldn't explain it. But anyways, my mom, she had went through like a real bad life. She had met my father. My father was very abusive to her. And she ended up getting beat up by him all the time and stuff. And he ended up going to prison when my brother was 1, and I was still in her belly. He took us to the cemetery. He took my mom to the cemetery when she had me in her stomach, and she was like 6 months pregnant. And he threw her on his father's grave, and he put a gun to her head. So he was gonna shoot her. And my mom said that my brother started grabbing onto his leg and crying, and that's what made him stop. And so anyways, my dad ended up going to prison that year for some armed robberies or something. He was a very bad man. And I know he was on drugs, and he had got my mom on drugs where they were doing drugs together. And when he left the prison, my mom took off to San Antonio, and she took us from Seguin to San Antonio and she wanted to change our names. She just didn't know how. But we ended up living over there, and my mom ended up meeting another man, and they were doing drugs together. They were doing like some preludes or something. I heard they were pills. I'm not sure what they are. I really never studied into them, but I heard they were like downers or something. And we got kicked out of our apartment because he wasn't on our lease. So we started living motel to motel. Sometimes we would sleep in the car and stuff like that. And, they would leave us in the motel for long periods of times, the landlord would be knocking, hey, y'all ain't paid y'all's rent. And y'all need to get out or whatever. And me and my brother sitting there looking at each other like all scared. But they would leave us there for a couple of days with no food and stuff. So we really had a tough life. So when we were like about 9, my mom went and dumped us off in Seguin. She just left us with my aunt, and my aunt she was worse than my mom on drugs. And so we started living in my grandpa's house. My aunt left her children with us at my grandpa's house, and we didn't have no light and no water. So we had lived there like about 3 months by ourselves, and we would, pick cans and stuff to get like this one man. He had a little store, and he would cut like bologna and ham, and we'd buy a loaf of bread, and that's how we would eat for a few days with that same ham. And anyways, while we were living there at my grandpa's house, we would we started plugging the extension cord to the neighbor's house, and we were we would make sure that nobody was around. It was late at night, so we'd watch the TV at night. My brother had found a PlayStation in the trash in one of the dumpsters, and he brought it home and it worked. So we would do what was it? It was not a PlayStation. It was called God, those old video consoles. They were brown. I don't know. It was just so long ago.
Atari.
Atari. There you go. There. That was it. And so.
Uh-oh. We lost her. She'll be right back.
What that is an amazing story, but so sad to hear that anyone to go through anything like that in life. But
it's
look
horrible.
at her now. She's come out of that. She's better off now than she was then. She's come out of this so well, and she's so radiant and glowing, and she's got such a good vibe, as is you, Vera, and as is you, Michael. It's bless her heart.
It is. It's one of those stories that, like, people would ask me, if you could go back in time and change all the hardships to blessings, would you do it? And I have to say no, because
I wouldn't.
They forged me who I am. And if I was to take all the hardship away and make them all blessings, I don't know what I would look like today.
Exactly. We are who we are from past experiences.
Yeah.
I was hoping she would tell us about a ghosts and paranormal and how that led into it, but hopefully she comes back on.
I find it interesting how we get to. I think we are about to that point, and it's like, nope, the web signal just disappeared or whatever happened, and hopefully her phone. I'm guessing she might have gotten a call, because sometimes I've heard that where if they get a call, the screen goes blank, and then they pop back in and like, sorry, I had to take that call.
Yeah. So like we were telling you when we went to the Magnolia hotel a couple of weeks ago, something was burning on my back, and I told Lisa to look, and I had 3 scratches. You could tell how wide they were, and she was like, "Oh, look, you got 3 scratches." She took a picture, and I said, "Wow, it was just really burning really bad." I said, "This is crazy." But every time we do an investigation, I'm the one that always gets scratched.
But do you know if that was done out of malice or done out of fear? Do you know? Was it done intentionally or done because they were
I think
scared?
it was done deliberately, try to scare me.
Mm.
So, but there was a lot of crazy activity that night. But we're going to go again in a couple of weeks. I want to bring you live.
I've been absolutely more than happy to come live to you from the UK to the Magnolia.
Yes.
It'll be an honour for you to do that, Vera.
And what's interesting, Jack, is what you were mentioning to her about it. I was going to say to you, what do you pick up if you feel, are you feeling it was malintent or just trying to get her attention and didn't realize that they had pushed so hard?
Genuinely, she was assaulted, attacked by the spirit out of malice, out of harm. But stand your ground next time, Vera. Stand your ground.
Yes, I need to. So this next round, I'm going to stand my ground with you.
Well,
You're
and
going to be
Vera,
my protector.
yeah, I, you asked how come you're the one who always gets scratched, and I've come through with the shows and my own experience, come to find out there's like 2 categories of people.
Mm-hmm.
One is because they're so open and unprotected that the spirits just gravitate to them and are able to do whatever. And the other is, and I don't know if Jack you've come across this, is you have a contract to where spirits and you have this arrangement. And so, and I know it sounds strange to say a contract with spirits to have these experiences, but I'm like, I've actually, kind of experienced that myself to where, certain things happen. And then when I say this contract is now null and voided, stops happening. And so it's like, kind of, has to go with what evidence shows you. I mean, we can't argue evidence. I mean, we can, but we just don't know. And so I would offer that's, two possibilities for you why. And do you have any feeling around that, Jack, as well?
Absolutely. So for you, Vera, due to the losses that you have had in life, and some recently very tragic losses, and I am ever so sorry for that. You are
Hey guys,
very.
I'm sorry. I got knocked
Hey,
off. God,
We're back.
That's all
okay.
right. We'll get with you in a second, Lisa.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jack.
So definitely, Vera, when you next go to the Magnolia, ground and protect yourself, and definitely take some form of protection with you, whether that's a necklace, a cross, or a stone, or something like that, just to protect yourself and ground and protect from spirit. Because I think they've grown a liking to you, knowing that they can do it and get away with doing it. You're the boss, not them.
Correct.
So definitely
Okay.
ground and protect yourself next time you go to
Okay.
Magnolia.
Agreed. And
Thank you.
that's for everybody. Everybody, if you're doing this kind of investigative or exploration work, ground yourself, protect yourself, and cleanse yourself when you leave those locations. Don't just assume since nothing happened, nothing was there, because you never know.
Exactly, Michael.
Exactly.
And now that Lisa's back, we'll get part 2 of the story.
Okay, I'm sorry. I really should have did it on my laptop, but I thought I charged it last night, and come to find out it wasn't even plugged in.
I've had those moments.
Oh, okay. So where did I leave off on, y'all?
About
You
your dad in prison.
you were getting the Atari and
Okay, great. Y'all heard up to there. Okay, so we were. My brother was sitting in front of me, and he was playing the Atari. I was dozing off, and I looked over at my cousin. He was already dozed off. He had already knocked out, and I saw my brother keep on looking back. He would look back at me, and then he'd pass me like toward the backyard, and he finally said he saw me when he finally looked at me. He saw that I was falling asleep, and he goes, "So you're falling asleep?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm tired." And he goes, "Don't fall asleep. I need you to stay up." And I'm all like, "Why?" And he goes, "Just wake up Johnny, and uh, and uh, and I'll tell you." And I was all like, "All right." So I woke up Johnny, and he's all like, "What's going on?" And I told him, Rob wants us." And he goes, he's still playing the game, right? And he's all like, "When I counted 3, I want y'all to look back at the tree." So we had this big old pecan tree in the back. It was real thick. It was probably like 100 years old. And and I told him, I said, "Why do you want us to look back there?" And he said, "Because just look back there." So when I turned, I stood up. I stood up instead, and I looked back. Johnny just looked back. He was still sitting. He looked back. And when I looked back, I just saw like a figure standing behind the tree. And the tree's like this, and he's looking at us like that. And I couldn't see. It looked like I couldn't see no eyeballs. It looked like indentions, like just deep. And this figure was like, oh God, you remember when the TV screens used to go out at midnight, and it went shh, the screens they had like a blue looking gray screen or something. Well, this thing looked like that. The whole figure looked like that, but I could just see half of the figure because of the way it was looking at us like that. So I just screamed. I was like, "Oh my God!" And and Johnny jumped up, and my brother jumped up, and my brother was screaming at it like, "What do you want? What do you want?" And all we saw was it took off. It took like 2 steps away, toward our fence, and I don't know. It looked like it just disappeared. All we heard was the fence go ching ching, and you could hear it running in the next door neighbor's yard. You could hear it running, but you couldn't see it. You could just hear the leaves like stomping, right? And then it ran into the cemetery. So we lived right by the cemetery, and it ran into the cemetery, and we're like all freaked out. We ran inside and locked the door, and we stayed there the night. The next day, we were like, we're not going to stay here no more. We're going to go to my uncle's. And my uncle's house didn't have no light, no water, and nobody lived there. But he would let us stay there. And fast forward 25 years later, I end up moving into a house across the street from where my grandparents had the house. They had already knocked down the house and everything, but the country was still there. And one night I was going to medical school, so I was studying. My cousin sitting next to me, Johnny, the same cousin that was with me that day when we saw that thing, and he's sitting next to me. He's watching TV, and I'm studying next to him, and I feel like somebody's staring at me, right? So I look up and I look toward the doorway, and it freaked me out because the same thing that I saw when I was a child was standing at our doorway looking in, like he's like that. The same way he was at the tree, that's the way he was looking in. And I just jumped up. I go, Johnny. And Johnny looked at the door. He saw me looking at the door. So he looked at the door and he said, it ran toward the backyard. It's the same thing that we saw when we were kids. And my husband ran in the room. He's like, what happened? He thought there was an intruder or something trying to get in. And he ran out the back door. Johnny ran out the front door. And my husband came back. He was like, I didn't see nothing. And nobody's back there. And I said, I know you weren't going to see it. It was a freaking ghost. I told my husband, it's that thing that I told you that I saw when we were kids. And I said, Johnny even saw it. And we stayed freaked out about that for a while. So I said, you know what? There's something more to this life. There's something more to this life, than just us. And I want to study it. I want to know what's out there, I want to know how true this is. You see it in TV and stuff, but, you never realize that you're going to, run into something like that. And since we've been doing investigations, we've seen some stuff, especially here in my house. We had, when I first moved in here, I knew something was in here. And then later on, I found out that somebody actually died here. A couple of people died here. One of them was a drug overdose. Another child drowned in the bathtub. And we've heard a lot of stories about this house from different families that have lived here through the years. They'll stop. As a matter of fact, the day before yesterday, somebody stopped by and he told us that his brother had died here, that they had gave him arsenic poisoning or something. And I was like, well, that's not the same as that overdose, because I talked to the guy's brother that lived here before, and he said his brother died, of an OD, but he was just going to get, he had just got into it with the cops, and they were going to come take him to jail, and he had knocked one of them, and one of them fell out the window, one of the police officers. And the next thing you know, we were like, well, that's crazy. There's another story to add on to this, but we have seen some stuff here. And so I invited a paranormal team along with Vera for them to investigate while I cooked outside for them. I barbecued for them while they were in here investigating. And they got to meet my doll. And her name, I call her Annabelle, because she looks just like the real Annabelle. She looks exactly. And well, she actually, you know what? I didn't name her that. She told us that on the phone. We had that app, and she told us her name was Annabelle. So then it stayed with her. And so yeah, we put her in a box. She looks pretty cool. She looks pretty cool back there. I was talking to her today because we recently had some activity in here, and I said, you need to keep these spirits in control, under control. I said, keep them in this room, because we have like a room that's just full of junk. And we're gonna have a yard sale soon, so I was going through everything and, packing it away, and Vera can tell you the rest about the investigation they did here.
Oh my God, it was crazy. That day too, I got scratched at your house,
Oh yeah,
and
remember you send it to
uh,
me.
what's her name? Deb turned around and was talking, and she was telling us that the spirit there didn't like me, so it scratched me. And we took plenty of pictures, and we got different wild faces in those pictures. And there's a door that Lisa has right there that leads to the kitchen. I took a picture of that door. Well, turns out that picture had that door had a picture of a ghost. And I asked Lisa, I said, did you have a picture on that door? And she said, no, it's just plain. And I showed her the picture. There was a ghost on that door. And
Amazing.
it was wild.
Yeah, this house has like when I moved in here, it was weird because it has a chimney. Uh, it was stored in back of a cabinet. When I tore down the cabinet, I found a chimney, but there's no chimney up top. You know what I mean? And then we have like doorways that lead to nowhere. If you go outside, it looks like there's a door there. There's a door there. You can see the screen and everything, but in the inside there, it's blocked off. And like there's no, and we have a door on the other side as well. We have like a lot of different things. Like there was a mirror in the kitchen. It was like a big mirror, and it was in back of the refrigerator. And one day I remember I was walking toward the back room, the washroom, and I was unlocking it because I put some stuff in there that was a little bit expensive so the kids wouldn't get it. And I was unlocking it, and on the corner of my eye, I saw an old woman, like in a nightgown, like a long nightgown, and she had like gray hair, and it was like curly, like probably to here, right? And she looked like real old, and she's walking like straight across in my peripheral like that, and she's like walked into the refrigerator. The mirror was right in back of it, and I hadn't taken it off because it was a little hard to get off. So I was waiting for my son to get here to take it off, and we were gonna paint it and everything, but I'm guessing that's where the portal was because it walked like right into that mirror or whatever. When I came around to look, there was nobody there. So it kind of freaked me out. We pulled up some carpet in the back room, and because I wanted to tear down the floor. The floor is kind of warped. It's like looks like this, right? And so we started tearing off the carpet, and I found like a basement down there, and it's just the walls are made of mud. It was like never made into a room, and so I sent that paranormal team that came with over here, and with Vera, and they have went down. Some of the guys went down into the basement, and they found some tunnels, and in the tunnels they said there was shoe, like a child's shoe, and like a man's I don't remember if he said jacket or what, but he said that they were so old that he's thinking they were back from the 1800s. So I'm thinking maybe had something to do with the tunnels under Seguin, which they talked about could have been the railroad or whatever. I'm not sure what was going on, but when I looked back in '83, I remember I was with a friend of mine, and we had actually spent the night at this house, And the people that lived here, like I didn't know them. My friend knew them, and we just slept in their living room. In the morning, we left. But I remember this house was here. So when I looked at the internet to see, the history on this house, it just showed that it was built like in '89. So that doesn't make no sense because I know I stayed in this house. It was the same house, and it just kind of like, it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird that we even have a basement. Nobody in Seguin has a basement, There's a few houses and those are like the richer houses that they have basements. And, but since we've been here, we've experienced quite a bit. My grandchildren have too. And but they're not scared of it. They'll go ghost hunting with us sometimes. they enjoy it. I always say those are my the Ghostbusters.
That's our future.
Yeah, Vera's grandkids as well, and they are good investigators. They capture great pictures, man. Great pictures all the time, and so they know quite a bit, of the paranormal world. But I'll tell them, and they're like, "Wow, Grandma,"
Yeah.
But anyway,
the Magnolia has a basement as well, so not many people get access to it, and so
we are going to have access.
Yes.
Luckies.
Yes. We had it the last time we went, but the guy that went with us forgot to give us the combination to get down there. And he fell asleep, so we couldn't get it out of him. And then in the morning, he took off before everybody, so we didn't get to finish investigating down there. So this time that we go, that's the first thing we're going to do is go in that basement.
Yeah, he had a bad experience there, a very bad experience. We were walking around doing the investigation, and I had passed a door, and I heard somebody talking, and I'm all like, "Hey, is everybody in the group over here?" And they were like, "No, John's in there," and I'm all like, "Well, he's not alone. He's talking to somebody," and I could hear him telling them. That, "What are you doing here?" He's saying something about you need to go, or what do you want? And I'm all like, he's in there talking to somebody. I'm telling Vera and that the group, and they're like, no. So one of the guys, Vera's husband, ends up walking in there, and I followed him, and we're asking him, hey, who are you talking to? And he's all like, the box. It said something about they're here or something like that. And he just starts choking like uncontrollably, and I'm all like, oh, hell, what's going on with this guy, right? And I just got some holy water and I started praying over him. I was throwing it on him. After a while, he didn't, at first I thought he was just, coughing, regularly. And so I walked away from him, but then I realized he's still coughing in there. So I went in there and looked like he was choking, and that's when I got the holy water.
He actually started throwing up.
Yes, he started throwing up after I threw the holy water on him. That was crazy. Wow. Yeah. So I don't know if, something injured him or what. It was just crazy. It was unbelievable.
That sounds like it. Absolutely. I mean, one of the comments have just come on. So I think Daniel's put loves a basement. Who doesn't love a basement as a paranormal investigator? Now, wait for this though. So basements are generally spooky, dark, and mysterious, but hear it from me. So your dental surgery is probably more haunted than an actual basement.
Wow.
Yeah. It's basements. So basements are, and attics as well. They're very similar, in stance of you go in, it's already dark. It's got that smell to it, and you're expecting something to happen, and something normally does. But you go to the dentist, so your dentist surgery is probably more haunted than Magnolia's basement. But let me know how you get on that Magnolia, because I bet their basement has a few things they want to tell you as well, Vera.
Oh,
Actually, Jack, I can tell you the Magnolia's basement was where the original owners would hide with their slaves from the Indians that were raiding through the territories. And so
Wow.
I think there is a story of one time that they found them in the basement and they didn't make it out alive. And so, yeah, their basement is a little different because it was like their little security room. But I also have an interesting question for you, Jack, about Lisa's story and her experiences. I get the feeling like Lisa's a medium. Do you get that feeling?
Very much so. She's very mediumistic. She has a form of an ability. Whether you want to pursue that, Lisa, or progress it or keep it as it is, but definitely when you're on investigations, open yourself up to spirit, ground and protect, and see what you get, because you're probably going to surprise yourself.
I'm not. Nobody's ever taught me how to use it. I know I have it. I know I do, because sometimes my husband says, "Oh God, you scare me because you're that I already that are going to happen," and we don't know that they're going to happen, but they end up happening. He goes, "You always scare me with that." So that's just comes from, like, I don't know if it's within or what, but it's not like a little voice that tells me. It just comes out, and um, I'm just like, I don't really know how to use it. I think I could use it more. I know that when I go into like an investigation and there's something really there, I know that my fingers tingle, and so I'll always rub them because they start tingling, and that's something that's within me. I mean, I don't know if it's my senses or what, the spidey senses.
Absolutely.
Well,
No, trust your senses.
and Lisa, I'd like to point out here's an opportunity to ask what you're wanting to ask. You have one on screen.
Oh God, um, I'm sorry. I don't. Let me get my glasses on. I'm blind.
Oh no, I'm meaning you can
Jack.
ask Jack your questions about it
Hey,
if
well,
he's okay with that.
I mean, I feel like I didn't know if we could ask questions, but I had my brother passed away, and he had like they found that he had cancer, and he would tell me things, and they would come true. Everything he said, they would come true. And at the end, I remember he was telling me, "No, Jesus told me that I'm not going to die." And I didn't understand what he meant by that. You know what I mean? Because he's dying, he's there. That's it. He's gone. I already knew. He already stopped eating and stuff. He was barely talking, but he told me, Jesus told me that I'm not going to die, so you don't have to worry. And I'm all like, I'm crying there with them, and I told him, I said, I don't care what you do, just don't come back and haunt me. And I kind of like, I regret telling him that, because I wasn't in the paranormal at that time, but now I wish I could see him, I could talk to him, I could find out if he's okay. I want to know if he made it to heaven, and because he did do some bad things in his life, but he repent for them, and he had went to prison for a while. When he came back like a changed person. He was like real into the Lord and stuff like that, and he shared it with everybody. And usually when they come back out of prison, they just want to party their life away. You know what I mean? They don't care about talking about God no more. But my brother stuck with it, and
So I need to let you know, Lisa, I have since you've been speaking, I can feel his energy, and I have just heard him say, calm as a bitch. Sorry, can I say that word? Can I say that
You
word?
can.
Yes.
Calm as a bitch. and he is happy that he has now crossed over. He has met the other side. He is with animals. He is with a grandfather energy. So there's a grandfather energy if you're stepping forward with him, coinciding. He is so proud of you and so proud of the woman you've become. He is apologizing for the wrongs doing he's done in life. And he is saying, yes, I served my time, as you've just said. However, he's just saying again, Jack, tell Lisa, she'll know what this means. Calm as a bitch. So, like, he was in trouble. He got in trouble. He served his time. He got released, and cancer got him. He's saying, like, that was his karma. But he's happy, he's safe, and he is at peace.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I needed to hear that.
Sorry for swearing.
Okay.
I have a feeling if you didn't, the message wouldn't mean as much. It wouldn't be as valid. And so I was like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Bless him. Bless him. He loves you with all his heart. And you'll always know that, Lisa. And Vera, your son is stepping forward, and he is in awe. He is telling me now, Vera, you not need to worry. And he's just said she will know what this means. You not need worry. Don't worry, Mama. You're going to be safe. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He is with you, and he was with you today, as in today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday for you.
Mine today, your yesterday. And you were sat thinking about him, asking him to come through, asking him to validate certain things about your health, and just know you're going to be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was sitting down yesterday and I was reminiscing about him and I was speaking to him.
He heard every word. He was there with you.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, not to sound left out or anything, but
Vera, Michael, you have a lovely lady in spirit. Does that make sense? So this would be a nanny, grandmother figure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just know she's beaming from ear to ear, and she's making reference to you and how well you are doing. She is concerned with your health as well. She's saying, Michael, you need to focus on your health, but she's behind you 100%, and she's not too keen on your beard, she's just said. She is happy, she's safe, and she's at peace. And she is proud of the man you've become, because she is saying it wasn't easy for you growing up, but you are who you are today. What we literally have just been speaking about. And she says, why do you wear the hats? She's just said, Jack, ask him, why does he wear them hats? Does he sleep in them hats? She's just said, yes, he does.
Well, I wear the hats because sometimes my eyes look like I'm asleep on the shows, even though they're open, and so I wear them to kind of prevent the shadowing effect. But I don't need to wear a hat. See, I can take it off.
Bless her heart. She absolutely adores you, and she said she's not seen you laugh like this in such a long time.
It has been a long time.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oh.
Jack's always on point.
Thank you. Honestly, it is an honour. And like I said prior to us coming on, there is a lot of trolls, a lot of internet harassment and bullying. But that aside, I know what I'm doing is true. And all my friends and family and loving friends like yourselves understand that. And I'm so grateful. And I'm honoured that I've got this ability to help and heal people. It means an awful lot.
Hey, Jack, I have a question. I'm working on a case, and it's kind of like a case that I took on like a pro bono, and it's has to do with a guy who went missing in Luling, Texas. It's a small town near here. It's probably about a 20-minute drive over there. He was going to school in San Marcos, Texas, at the university, and one night he takes off at 10 at night to go to Houston to visit by Houston to visit his family. Maybe you could take a look at this case later on, or if you pick up something, maybe you could let me know about.
Absolutely.
But he went missing, and we've been searching for him, literally walking, searching for him for like a few months already. There's been people searching for him for 4 years. He's been missing for 4 years already, and I can't wrap my head around it, because why can't we find his remains? And the way they found him with no, all his clothes were left on the road that he was wearing that night, according to his ex-girlfriend, and the pictures he had took that night on Snapchat or whatever he was on. But yeah, if you pick up anything, please let me know about it. Okay?
Certainly will. If you could send me a photo of him, if you've got one available.
Yeah. His name was Jason Landry. He was he seemed like a good kid, but there was some marijuana found in his possession and stuff.
Okay.
So they didn't know if it had anything to do with that, but everything was found there, so nobody, like, he wasn't robbed. His laptop was in his backpack, and his grandfather gave him a watch, and everybody said he would have never took it off, only when he takes a shower. But he was found on the ground as well. And it's kind of funny, Jack, because one of his friends said that he was he was always, coming up with theories and stuff like that about cases and stuff like that. And he had talked to one of his friends. He goes, if I ever go missing, it was the aliens that did it. And the way he was found, it kind of, like, you think about it, and you're like, what the
Rapture.
hell? No clothes on, like the Rapture, exactly. So it's a bit.
As soon as you mentioned that, the immediate connection I got was the fact he has been taken.
Yeah.
And in what strange circumstances?
And when I started doing my search, I found out that there was an actual place that they send people that have committed sexual crimes down that highway where they believed he was followed, or where he took the wrong turn, basically. And there was like 25 men. There's 25 men living there at each given time. 25 to 56 or something like that. And so that kind of like got my attention as well when I started looking at, the area. And I don't think his parents know about that. But when I go to this year, his anniversary, hopefully we find him before then.
Yeah.
Before December, but hopefully, I'm going to mention that to them.
Absolutely. Oh, Lisa. Well, congratulations on the work you're doing to help find him, whether that's as a psychic detective, whether that's paranormal, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. You're helping in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right.
And we do have a question for all of you in the chat room. Daniel is asking, what's your next investigation?
Magnolia Hotel.
Fantastic.
How about you, Jack? You have anything coming up?
I have no cases planned or booked in yet. The next official one will be on Halloween night, October 31st. We are live streaming globally with an estimated 10,000 viewers. We're doing a live stream seance for about an hour, and then that's it. So that's our next official investigation.
Very cool. And is that going to be at a special location or just a normal convention center kind of type?
So this is going to be a private residence whose home we've been investigating for a long time. There's a lot of poltergeist activity, taps, bangs, disappearing items, reappearing items. It is very real, and we're going to bring that to the forefront of Facebook and investigation, like yourselves, to witness. Now we can't guarantee anything's going to happen, but we're very we're
confident.
optimistic. Yeah, we're optimistic and very confident that something will happen. Absolutely.
I think we're going to be doing one at the dollhouse as well, right, Vera?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think so on that one. I have a
Fantastic.
Oh,
question for you, Jack. Do you do you have people come up to you and ask if they can go on investigations with you?
Yes. A lot of the yeah, I do. I get a lot of messages, texts, emails, and asking, oh, can we come on one? Um, we don't allow so for deliverance cases, we don't allow any members of the public for that. For paranormal investigations, absolutely. But for October 31st, it is a private residence, so we're not letting any members of the public come in, only viewable online.
Mm-hmm.
But if we do end up doing an investigation here in Sheffield, in the UK, then we will organise that and bring people in that want to come and investigate with us.
That's cool.
so do you have any interest in going abroad and investigating anywhere out there for anyone?
So, as I'm sure you may or may not be aware, June 4th, 2026, I am flying out to JFK Airport. We're landing in New York City. We are working on some famous cases. We're reinvestigating the Ed and Lorraine Warren cases of Amityville, the Smurl case, which is the final Conjuring film. We're investigating that, and I'm so excited.
Oh,
That's
that's very cool.
yes,
so
it is.
if So, I mean, if you are out and available, if time allows, schedule wise for us, definitely meet up at some point somewhere. If not, it's not a problem. But the thought's there, so definitely, yeah. We're off to Salem, Massachusetts, Sleepy Hollow. Of course, the 9/11 monument. Um, and we believe we're just talking at the minute with a client whose house is very active, but she's a bit unsure, whether she wants us to go or not, so we're waiting for confirmation. Bless her, she's a bit nervous, but I mean, I can pass it to you guys, you Vera and Lisa, if you wish to take it. She's a very nervous lady, but bless
Sure.
her, we'll see.
Wow. That's awesome.
We'll do whatever we can.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So yeah, that's 2026. Flying to America. We're very, very grateful and very, very excited. Um, yeah, very much excited. And I'm so grateful to share that with you and friends and family and audiences and stuff. So yeah. We also actually have an investigation that Daniel that messaged on the 10th of September. So the Conjuring comes out on the 5th. No, the 6th. No, the 5th. On the 10th, we're going to a place in the UK, and it's the Haunted Museum in Stoke, which holds artifacts from around the world, artifacts from Texas, artifacts from New Orleans, and they actually house artifacts of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So their personal artifacts, like their glasses, their neck scarves, jewelry, watches, bracelets, is actually homed in England at Stoke. So we're going to investigate them as well. So we're very excited.
I'd be
Wow.
interested to hear what artifacts from Texas you have over there.
I'm going to ask, Michael, I'll ask for you.
Yeah,
There's,
that's
That's interesting.
I will ask for you. I'm sure there's something like there's a box there that has stuff in that if it's opened, it will possess you, something like that. I'll ask where it's from, but I'll ask if there's anything else in there from Texas. But I'll let you all know. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Daniel has got a message for you, Jack. So you'll finally get to meet me.
Absolutely, Daniel. Absolutely. Oh. Oh, I must say as well, if you can, Vera, Lisa, and Michael, and anyone that's watching, do go ahead and hit the follow button for us all, and also hit the follow button for the Bank House. That is an active location here in England. Where on the 14th of September, I'm doing a little live show, and then a paranormal investigation in the evening. It does house haunted artifacts as well. I'll send some photos for you all, but please do go ahead and hit that follow button for the Bank House in
Okay.
Rotherham.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of curious for you, Jack, because you're in putting yourself into a certain energy zone doing your work. When you go and investigate after, does that energy, do you dissipate it and switch to different energy to investigate? Or do you just carry it through and you just find it makes it even more fun?
Absolutely, I carry it through. After cases and investigations, my face it will go white as paper. I go very drained, very tired, but I know I've done my job when I leave that location, and that makes me very happy.
Very cool. And I'm noticing we're at pretty much the hour mark. And so I know with Jack, it's late there. You're approaching, what is it, 10 o'clock?
Yes, we are.
And
Wow.
it's afternoon for Lisa and Vera and I here. And so I don't know if we have work to get to or if you have something you have to do. So I just like to point out, we are at the hour. So if there's time for more questions,
I have
we
one
can
more
go a little
question.
longer. Or if you got to go, I will be respectful of that and we can end it here. So I leave that up to you
I've got a
three.
question too for you all, but you go. You go ahead, Vera. Go on.
Have you ever been to a location where you feel so consumed by it that you just got to leave and you don't want to come back?
Yes. So, in fact, I did end up staying. This is the case I think we spoke about, Michael, on the first podcast. Lisa, we went and Vera, we went to a location in Mansfield in the UK. It is called the Railway Cottage.
Hmm.
That was where I got lifted off the floor.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
looking at you now. I kid you not. It genuinely happened. It faced a lot of scrutiny, of course, as it would. A cup of tea that Charmaine, the homeowner, made. She made it before we investigated. She put it down. She turned round to get it about 15, 20 minutes later. It was ice. It had turned to ice.
Oh, my God.
Wow, I'm lost for words now. That would be a place that I do not want to return to. And if she
Wow.
invited me to go back, I'm sorry. I probably wouldn't set foot back in that house.
Wow.
I'm not sure I would blame
Wow.
you.
That is pretty crazy.
Yes, absolutely, indeed. It was owned by Florence Nightingale and Florence Nightingale's father.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah,
did you know if the spirit was evil there or um, it was just trying to be evil to certain people?
it was being evil to certain people. In fact, people that it didn't like, or it felt like, I don't know, offended by that person, even though they weren't doing anything to intimidate it. Oof. If you ever come to the UK, please visit that place.
Oh, my
Please.
God.
I
We'll
would.
have to look into that.
Yeah, definitely. That's
You won't leave the same people.
Oh, my God.
that's crazy.
What are your thoughts on the final installment of the Conjuring movie that is due to be released in the next few weeks?
I'm ready to see it. I don't have any. thoughts about it yet.
Amazing.
Yeah, for
But I
me,
am ready.
yeah, I'll be honest. Dealing with shows and some stuff around here, I didn't even know there was a movie coming out. So I really apologize. I am not up to date on my movies, but if it's anything like the other ones, they'll be really interesting to see how much of it, is true to the story and how much has been embellished. But
Exactly. I
yeah,
mean, when I watched the interview with the director, he actually spent more time interviewing people than actually doing his actual job. So to make sure that the movie is on point as it should be, but of course it's for movie and entertainment. But he's trying to keep as much as it as real as possible, which I think for him to make that announcement is going to give us a real insight to what the Warrens went through for that Smil case and for that family. So I am very much looking forward to it, if I say.
yeah, I'll have to put it on my list to go check out because yeah, I tend to sitting behind the screen doing all of this work and a few projects around the house. It's like I'm not up to date on what's going on in the paranormal world as much as I should be.
Hey
What
guys,
about?
I wanted to show y'all something real quick. This is my doll, and this morning I came in here to move things, and I walked out to go put some stuff in the other room, and she moved. Uh, it actually, let's see, I'm gonna turn it around real quick.
Oh, it is an Annabelle doll.
Yeah, and this one moved. She was facing front this morning when I walked in, and she ends up tilting that way. And then that one was staring right at me. You see her back there? So that one wasn't like that. That one tilted back. So you can see right here, the whole case moved. See the way
Is that a shining doll?
facing toward me straight. And when I came in, it was all the whole case had moved. This doll moved, and that doll moved. So it was like, wow.
Wow. So, Lisa, I gotta ask: is that doll on the back? Is that the little shining monkey type doll?
The shiny monkey. What do you mean?
The one with the symbols that starts to clap in the movie?
Ah,
It was hard to see which one was in the
Oh
very
no,
back.
no. This doll. She's a beautiful doll. Let me try to get over here. I got a lot of stuff in here. See, there's a few,
Oh, okay.
and but she's the one that she tilted to the side just to look at me. And this one, of course, the whole case moved, so that freaked me out. And this one right
wow.
here, she's the one who's looking this way. She was looking this way this morning, so now she's faced that way. So they're all having some. They're having a good time watching me clean up this room.
I actually have an interesting question about this for Jack because of his unique perspective of being the medium. When you buy dolls that look like actual haunted dolls, and because, like it looks like Annabelle the doll, even though she supposedly is on tour or locked up somewhere,
Mhm.
do you feel like because they've been made to look like, can carry the same energy and have the same effects, or because it's not the real doll, it's just there and people's minds just make it?
So, good question. I myself have got a tiny little Annabelle doll. However, the doll that I've got was made by the same company that made that made the Conjuring Annabelle doll. So the same company produced the doll. The doll that I've got, I'm sure the doll you've got as well, Lisa, was the same company that produced the actual original, authentic Annabelle doll. So yes, energy. Remember, the dolls were made for children, so the energies will be entangled with children's energy. However, I like to say the doll that is within Annabelle, the spirit, whatever you wish to call it, when you call out, they can all hear. And
I've heard that.
there you go. So Lisa's doll has moved. It is the replica of Annabelle. I mean, I claim no emissions. I don't think mine is haunted or possessed or in any way, shape, or form. But doesn't mean to say that dolls from that company, from the manufacturer, aren't. So there could be energy with them.
So I actually bought this doll at a thrift shop in Geronimo, Texas, small town, but it has like a very large indoor thrift shop, and probably over 100 people have their items there. And I bought it because I had one like it when I was a child, and I loved it very much. I don't even know what happened to it, but when I brought it home, I noticed I had a K2 on me, and I laid it right next to the doll in the car. And as I talked to it, it was responding. Like the
Wow.
K2 was going off back and forth, back and forth. So that's the first thing. When Vera and them came, the other paranormal team, I brought Annabelle to the living room so they could meet her. And she told them that she calls me mom, that I'm her mom.
There
And
we go.
yeah, she's very protective of me. And I said, you know what, I think she is, because I had to actually get rid of some other dolls. I gave one, I think, Vera, did I give you one?
I got
And,
like three of
oh,
them from you.
got one from Denver, because those were very like God bless, I could hear boots stomping the ground, walking in this room, and it's cluttered. It's nothing but clutter. I got mannequins and all kinds of stuff in here, and there's no way somebody could walk around in here, and you could hear somebody stomping around, yells, crying. You could see figures in the. My neighbors told me that they saw a man walking back and forth. I said, "There's nowhere for a man to walk here. There's so much stuff," and I showed them in here, right? I said, there's so much stuff. There's no way somebody could walk back there. And my neighbor from the back told me that he saw a man standing at the window just staring at him. And I said, there's no way. There's no way. There's too much stuff back there. I have to get to all that. That's what I was working on today. But I told him, okay, if it makes you happy, I'll put curtains up. I still haven't done it, but I'm about to do it. But yeah, those dolls were real haunted. These, I feel like Annabelle keeps them in check. Yeah, I really do feel that because one day I opened the door without saying a prayer. I always say a prayer before I come in here, and I opened the door, and all night the kids were saying that they were scared to walk toward the kitchen, because this room's back by the kitchen, and they were saying that they felt something, I don't know, something here, and it looked like when it gets dark in this house, even though I'll have a curtain propped open, I mean, it's pitch black in here. It's like abnormal pitch black. When we have the curtains closed and stuff, it's like too dark. The kids say it scares them because they can't even, you can't even step in front of your foot because you can't see what's in front of you. That's how dark it is in this house.
Yeah. Guys, I'd like to keep going, but we have gutter people just arrived, so it's about to get very noisy. So I would rather end the show now than have to be fighting the hammering and the cutting of the gutters.
Okay. Well, it was nice meeting y'all, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all again, soon.
Yes.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jack. Thank you, Mike.
Yes,
I
and real
enjoyed
quick.
it.
Yeah, and real quick, where can everyone find you, everybody?
We have a Facebook. We have a group. It's called Central Texas Paranormal Ghostbusters, and you can find us there. Definitely. Or you could just look me up, Lisa Herrera, on Facebook as well.
Or Vera Lopez-Rincon, you can find me as
Yes.
well.
And Jack?
Just type into Facebook, Jack Hutchinson Medium, and there I shall be.
All right, Jack.
And we try to post everything about Jack and his postings on our group page.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love collaboration, so thank you all for coming on and joining us
Feel
on
free.
this episode. And I want to give a special thank you to Jack because I know it is late, and so thank you for coming on again. And thank you to Lisa and Vera for making their afternoons available to us.
Thank
So
you.
much gratitude. And
Thank you.
one thing I want to say before I cut to the outro is this is for all three of you. From the heart of my show to all three of you, thank you for what your service and what you do for the paranormal community and humanity. It is noticed and appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, sir.
All right,
Well,
and with
you have a good night, Jack. Mike,
And you,
you
Vera.
have a good evening.
Thank you
You
for
too,
having me.
Lisa.
You too.
yes, thank you everyone, and have a blessed day and week, everyone. And with that, we are going to sign out.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.